Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you for being here. We're going to jump right into this morning, uh, or afternoon, or evening. I guess it depends on where you're at in the world. Um, I am well. I just wanted to say real quick. Last night was amazing. We raised enough money to move forward with the book, and there were a few people that donated, and then an anonymous angel came in last night and donated a huge chunk of what was left was needed to be raised. So the book is becoming a reality, and I have all of you guys to thank for that. So once it hits, I'll let y'all know where you can find it at, for sure. Good morning, Dragon Classy. We're gonna jump right into things this morning. I slept in a little bit. I got to get to work. Of course, I know that's always coming out of my mouth. I got to go to work. But busy times, man. Busy. Um, like I said, we're gonna jump right into this. So, without any further ado, here we go. Deering, Alaska. A Deering, Alaska man indicted for abusive sexual contact on an aircraft from Anchorage to Alaska. Thursday, February 6, 2025. For immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Western District of Washington. A 27-year-old Deering, Alaska man was arraigned yesterday following his indictment for abusive sexual contact, announced U.S. Attorney Tessa M. Gorman. Trayton C. Ballot was arrested on January 15th, 2025, when the Alaska Airlines flight he was on arrived at Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Ballot pled not guilty yesterday morning, and the trial was scheduled in front of U.S. District Judge John H. Chun on April 7th, 2025. According to records filed in the case, the 17-year-old victim was flying with her mother and a friend from Anchorage to Seattle. Ballot was seated in the middle seat in a row near the back of the plane. The victim was in the window seat. Ballot appeared to be asleep, but then allegedly moved his hand under the victim's inner thigh and began rubbing her thigh. The victim removed Ballott's hand, and two more times Ballot moved his hand onto the 17-year-old's inner thigh, and she removed his hand. After the third time, the victim lowered her tray table and wedged a pillow under it to protect her lap. Despite those barriers, Ballot moved his hand under the armrest and attempted to place it over the victim's thigh. The victim pressed down on the pillow to stop the assault, and Ballot took his hand away. The victim typed into her phone that the man seated next to her had touched her and showed the message to her mother, who was seated in the row behind her. At her mother's instruction, the victim notified the flight attendants, who moved her to a different seat. Ballot was arrested when the plane arrived in Seattle. He was held at the Federal Detention Center in SeaTac until the next day, when he was released on many conditions, including that he notify any airline of these charges before he travels. Yeah. Ballot waived his pre-sentence at arraignment, and his attorney entered a plea of not guilty. Abusive sexual contact is punishable by up to 2 years. By up to 2 years in prison. 2 years. Up to 2 years. How does that even sound right? How does that even sound right? It don't. Please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. It's free and it helps the channel grow. Thank you, Right Touchy Fishing. Mick and Nick, I hope you guys are doing good today, man. What's up, Jack Black Powder? Good to see you all here. I really appreciate it. Beth Hammond's in the house, everybody. Give it up for Beth Hammond. I'm caught up in the chat. It just doesn't seem right to me. That's disgusting. That's what I'm talking about when I say that the sentences do not meet the crime. He was obviously trying to get his jollies off on touching an underage child. Although 17, still underage, still a child, and it should be way more extensive of a sentence than that. This is exactly why our justice system needs changing. Exactly, Beth Hammond. 100% agree. 100% agree with you. Moving on here. I agree with you too. I agree with you. I fully agree with you, Dragon Classy. 100%. A Houston man indicted for coercion, enticing minors, and sexually exploiting a minor to produce child sexual abuse material. Thursday, February 6, 2025. For immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. A federal grand jury returned an indictment charging Dason Darian, 32, of Houston, Texas, with 5 counts of sexual exploitation of a child, 2 counts of coercion and enticement of a child, and 1 count of receipt of child sexual abuse material, and 4 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material. So that's 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 13 counts, 13 charges. 13 years of charges. What's up, Mission? Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yes and no, Mission. It just tends to doing stuff like that. It tends to make the perpetrators of these crimes more violent. I just say lock them up, lock them away, and forget about them. What's up, Way Up, dude? Oh, shit, what'd you say in the last comment? Did you remove it? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, Beth? Seems to not cover our victims. Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind. I got it. No, I mean lock them away and forget about them. Like, take them all, put them on Epstein's Island, and let them fucking fend for themselves. They deserve to be completely removed from society. They don't belong. They don't have the right to have any rights whatsoever. They don't have the right to freedom of movement. Freedom is. They don't get. They don't. They lose all those rights as a human being as soon as they touch a child. 100% is what I feel. I say execute him and bury him in a hole. What's up, Remy? Oh no, Remy, you're good, man. And like, let me say this. I want to thank you. I know it was tough, and I get it. I thank you for telling your story, man. I really do. It's an eye opener. Abuse comes in so many different forms. It's crazy, and I well said, Well said, way up, dude. Well said, way up, dude. Way up, dude said 3 things you don't mess with: minors, old people, and animals. 100%. 100% way up, dude. Some beautiful artwork on your channel. Dragon Classy. Yes. Here in Australia, people will remove fingers for theft, remove a life for touching a kid. Yes, I agree. That's how it should be everywhere. That's how it should be everywhere. Absolutely. Look at that. We're out here social networking, everybody. That's great. That's great shit. I love it, man. Jack, thank you so much. It means a lot. Dragon Classy said, because Dragon Classy just got a new subscriber. Jack Black Powder says, new sub. All right. Eric L. Barron, U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, announced the charges with Special Agent in Charge William J. Del Bagno of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Baltimore Field Office. The Chief Robert McCallum, Baltimore County Police Department. According to the indictment, between July 2023 and July 2024, the defendant persuaded, induced, enticed, and coerced a minor male to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing and transmitting sexual abusive material. Additionally, the indictment alleges that the defendant enticed 2 minor males to engage in prohibited sexual conduct, and Darian possessed child sexual abuse material in internet-based accounts and on 1 digital device. If convicted, Darian faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years and up to a maximum sentence of 30 years in federal prison for each of the 5 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years and up to maximum sentence of life imprisonment for each of the 2 counts of coercion, and enticement of a child, a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years and up to a maximum of 20 years in federal prison for the single count of receipt of child sexual abuse material, and a maximum of 20 years in federal prison for each of the 4 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material. So let's say that he gets, they charge him with 1 count for each one of the charges. So if he gets sentenced to on one of the if he gets sentenced to on just one of the 5 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, that's 15 years. If they sentence him on one of the 2 counts of coercion, that's another 10 years, so that's 25 years. And 5 years and up to a maximum of 20 years in federal prison for the single count of receipt of child sexual abuse material. So that's 30 years and a maximum of 20 years in federal prison for each count of the 4 counts of possession. So he'll probably do another 5 years to that. So that's 35 years. Does 35 years sound justifiable? Does that sound like a good sentence for what he did? He coerced 2 male children. But these are federal cases, Beth. These are federal cases, and there's no such thing as good time. There's no such thing as early parole. They gotta do 88 no less than 80% of their sentence before they get released. No, Mission. No. I always go with the minimum. So it's, if convicted, Darian faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years and up to a maximum sentence of 30 years in federal prison for each of the 5 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years for and up to life and up to a maximum sentence of life imprisonment for each of the 2 counts of coercion and enticement of a child, a mandatory minimum of 5 years and up to a maximum of 20 years in federal prison for the single count of receiving of child sexual abuse material, and a maximum of 20 years in federal prison for each of the 4 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material. He could get more time. I hope he does. I hope they lock him away forever. They should just execute him, to be honest with you. Hi, Mom. I'm not saying I agree with them getting out at all, Beth Hammond. I absolutely, you're right. 99% of these thuggers repeat, offend. I hope, yeah, I hope I don't see, and that's one thing that I'm trying to fight for. That I'm fighting for is no plea bargains. If you get charged with 15 counts of something, you're going to get sentenced on 15 counts. Now we're going to charge you with 15 counts. We're going to drop 14 of them and charge you with one. It's not right. He committed those crimes. He should do the time for those crimes, each and every single one of them. So that's how I feel about it. Pardon me a minute. I got to get a drink. I got the cotton mouth.
Was that for each song?
Yeah, each and every song. You can't make that make sense, Beth Hammond. You absolutely cannot make that make sense. And you know why? Because it don't. Beth Hammond says, make this make sense. You get 40 years for drugs and 10 years for unaliving someone.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, ain't it?
Isn't it?
Because them drugs are just so fucking horrible, you know what I mean? Just saying. In Washington State, they spend taxpayer money for years of therapy, but won't enforce the law on the books. Repeat offending is in the high 70%. Yeah. Old lady O, Mom says, I agree. We need to set the charges higher for all the different accounts of abuse. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're all right. If you sexually abuse a child, if you molest a child, you go to prison for the rest of your fucking pathetic life. 100%. And let's continue moving on here. Jacksonville convicted child sex offender pleads guilty to attempting to entice a 13-year-old to engage in sexual activity. Repeat offender. Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Middle District of Florida. Jacksonville, Florida, United States Attorney Roger B. Hamburg announces that Jeremy Wayne Leggett, 38 of Jacksonville, has pled guilty to attempting to entice a child to engage in sexual activity. Leggett faces a minimum penalty of 10 years up to life in federal prison and a potential lifetime term of supervised release. Leggett, a potential lifetime term of supervised release. Make that make sense. Leggett is a registered child sex offender, so he's already been convicted of a sexual offense against a child. And he gets busted for another charge of trying to entice another child over the internet to engage in sexual contact. Execution. Obviously, he's not going to stop. Obviously, he's a parasite. And what do you do to parasites? You rub them off the face of the earth. Leggett is a registered child sex offender, having been in Florida in 2020, so not even 5 years ago, for traveling to meet a minor to commit an unlawful sexual offense and transmitting harmful materials to a minor. Leggett was arrested on June 19th, 2023, and has been in custody since then. His sentencing hearing is scheduled for April 28th, 2025. According to court documents, on June 16th, 2023, an undercover FBI agent, UC, in the Jacksonville area, child was working online in a particular social media application to identify individuals seeking to contact and engage in sexual activity with children. The UC engaged in an online conversation with an app user, D. Aditi, who posted a notice in the public chat room that read, "Looking for emoji, wanna spoil daughter? Looking for wanna online conversation." User D. Aditi, who was subsequently identified as Leggett, was advised that conversation, Leggett suggested they meet in person for sexual activity, and he sent the child an explicit photo of himself. On June 17th, 18th, and 19th, 2023, Leggett reinitiated text messages with the UC and continued attempting to persuade the child to meet for sex. And on June 19th, 2023, Leggett and the child made arrangements to meet at a location in Jacksonville. Later that evening, Leggett went to the arranged upon meet for about 30 minutes. When law enforcement officers attempted to make contact with Leggett, he quickly reversed his vehicle and fled the scene. A short time later, officers with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and FBI agents located Leggett at a home in Jacksonville, and he was arrested. My friend is doing 12 years for vehicular manslaughter. They dropped it from murder in a plea deal. Was he drinking and driving? Is that how it happened, Mission? Beth Hammond says, I have seen them with 10 rap sheets for sex offending in the Florida prison system. You used to work in the prison system, didn't you?
Wow.
Beth Hammond? Right, Jack? Just wow. Just wow. Were you a CO? Or a police officer, or I don't know what that means, Beth. I don't know what I'm dual certified. I don't know what that means to her. A lieutenant? No, they came to his house during lockdown and smashed the car. My mates chased them, flipped in their car while one was hanging out throwing objects. Oh wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy, dude. Oh, so we don't have a time and a date or anything yet, but here in the near future, at least one other channel content creator and myself, and quite possibly two other channel content creators and myself. If you like to play poker and you like to help the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or the NCMEC, and would like to maybe have a chance at winning some money, we're going to be doing a fundraiser where half the proceeds that we raise will be going to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the other half of the money will be split up between the three top finishers of the poker tournament. So if you're interested in that, just keep your ears open, and we will let you know for sure when that's going to be. And buy-in will probably be $10. Yeah, we just decided that last night. It was suggested that we do another tournament, and it was Mike suggested that we do a tournament and donate all the funds, donate the funds, or half the funds that we raise to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So of course I jumped on board. It's a great idea. Mike, you're awesome for that. And yeah.
Heck yeah.
So okay, it means okay, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. Beth says it means I worked two different jobs in law enforcement. In law, I was a lieutenant in prison system and a captain in lieutenant in law enforcement.
Oh wow.
Well, thank you for your service, Beth.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Parents need to step up. Need to step up educating their children about predators online, and they need to scan their children's social media accounts. But that's only going to prevent some of the chances of child abuse. Absolutely. If you unalive someone on the streets, I am the one you saw. Good suggestion, Mike. Absolutely, Mom. That's what I said too. Yep. Laws have changed here in Australia, lady. Illegal for someone under 13 to have social media. 13 to 18 needs parents' permission. I'm down for that. 100.
Yeah.
100. I could get behind that 100%. 100% get behind that. Yes. Thank you, Beth Hammond. So she said you're welcome. I don't know. We'll see what it is. Oh, it's Devs. So true, old lady. Oh, many parents let the computer, TV, cell phone, and the neighborhood raise their children. Yep. So sad. Yep. And moving on. A Branderton man sentenced to more than 15 years for production and receiving of child sexual abuse material. I can already tell you right now, I am not happy with this charge. I'm not happy with this sentence, and it's fucked up already, and I don't even know about it.
Yeah.
A Brandenton man sentenced to more than 15 years for production and receiving of child sexual abuse material. Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, for immediate release. U.S. Attorney's Office, Middle District of Florida. Tampa, Florida. U.S. District Judge Mary S. Scriven has sentenced Buddy Allen Travis, 42, of Branderton, to 15 years and 8 months in federal prison, followed by a lifetime of supervised release for the production and receipt of child sexual abuse material. Travis pled guilty on October 1st, 2024. According to court documents, Travis persuaded a 14-year-old minor victim to engage in sexual activity with him using Facebook. Travis engaged in sexual conversations with the minor victim and asked her to produce and send sexually explicit images of herself to him. Travis also sent obscene images of himself to the minor victim. That's all it's on that one. I wonder why.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would have got hidden, Ghost Walks. I don't know how you would have got hidden, bro.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah.
I was just talking about you last night, my
Are
friend.
you gonna have to check your list again?
I might.
I would suggest it. I hope not. I hope that's not what's going on. Oh.
I'll be so fucking pissed, dude. I'm not even joking, dude. I'll take every fucking wrench away. Nobody will have one, dude. Nobody will fucking have one. YouTube must have censored it. Here, let me drop you the link, Ghost Walks. They can't censor your mouth, bro. Line of duty makes sense, yes. I see you, Ghost. Many young girls who come from broken homes will go out of their way for attention. Unfortunately, some think they can elevate themselves on a sexual platform. Predators know this. Yep. You're right, Jack Black. All I said is I have a video you should smile watching. We'll hop up here, Ghost Walks, or if you want.
For saying what?
I don't know if we're saying smile. All I said was I have a video you should smile watching.
And she was hidden.
Ghost Walk says it was censored. Yeah, their comment didn't make it on screen.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Way ridiculous.
Why?
Yeah, bro.
Here, I'll put it in private chat. You can't. I highly doubt you could play this on your stream. You'd probably get a strike for it, but
Okay.
it's entertaining.
Okay.
It's for people that are watching. It's a collection. It's a former SWAT officer turned into a YouTuber. He's got almost 6 million subs, and it's just a compilation of very recent child predators and abusers getting taken down by cops. It's kind of amusing to watch.
Dude, that's just a StreamYard link, bro.
Oh shit! Okay, never mind. Hang on. I'll redo it.
I think it's to my stream now. I think it's to my live stream.
Because I have to swap browsers to join.
Okay.
History.
It's good to see you, bro.
Yeah, you as well. There we go. I dread to think what you were saying about me the other night.
What do you mean?
Well, you said I was talking about you the other night, and I'm like, oh, geez, now what?
Oh yeah, well, I was talking about you the other night. I was just saying how I miss you, bro.
Oh,
There's been quite a few people around here that's been asking about you, man, bro.
I'm just, to be honest, everybody, I'm tired of getting stalked by a known criminal, a violent offender who has my home address
Oh, wow.
and now appears here, and it's just, I'm tired of being stalked.
Oh, wow.
I just don't feel like dealing with it, you know?
Yeah, I get it. And I'll put an end to it over here anyway, bro. Just so you know that, man.
I don't ever try and control who people have on their streams. It's just
I
some
know.
people I just can't be around. Like if it was that Australian guy, it would be the same thing. Like I don't want to be around him.
Yeah.
You know what I
get
mean?
it.
Like I could debate him endlessly, but there's no point. I don't enjoy his company. So, you know.
Yeah, I get it. But on a more positive note,
Mhm.
did a fundraiser last night for the book, and we raised enough money to move forward, man.
Good. Awesome. And yes, I
So-
see everybody in chat. Hi to all you guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you.
Yeah, you were the topic of conversation last night for a good half an hour, my friend. So, but let's move on to another case, shall we? It's real good to have you back up here, bro. I'm telling you right now, TPR.
Oh yeah.
You bet.
Let's get emotional here, man. Not even gonna lie.
Like I
It's
said,
fucking
watch
like
that
you.
video after, and you'll laugh your ass off. It's just
Okay,
fun
I
to
will
watch
do.
people get hurt.
Okay, I will. I'm actually gonna go pull it up right now, but I won't watch it on here yet.
Yeah,
Nice.
strict with sharing content. So
Yeah. Well, if he's got 6 million, almost got 5.17 million subscribers. Yeah, I'd definitely get struck for using his content.
For sure.
For sure. For sure. For sure. I'll definitely watch it though, for sure. I got it pulled up, so I'll watch it. I love the title of it. That's a great title. It says Diddlers Get Destroyed. So there you go. I love the title of it.
just replay the face plant. So just for people in the chat that don't get what I'm talking about, it's one of the predators is running from the cop, and he gets tased, and he does like a perfect face plant into the asphalt. It's just like I got to rewind and watch it again and watch it again and watch it again.
Nice. I love watching assholes get face planted, dude. I seen this one video a while back, and it was this kid was being a smartass. He's not really a kid, but he's like 25, 26 years old. He's half drunk, and he fucking gets out of his car and he takes off running from the police. He's got a beer bottle in his fucking hand, and he's running and he takes a drink of this fucking beer beer,
Wow.
and he gets tased at the same time, and he stiffens up and he fucking hits the face plant on the ground.
Oh my god.
Boom!
Oh,
Literally,
my
bottle.
God.
Don't run from the police. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
knocked his
wow.
fucked his old shitter up, fucked all of his shit up.
That.
Oh, yeah.
Like, cut his mouth.
Oh yeah, you fucked him up. Well, I guess he learned his lesson. I bet.
Yeah. Sure. Don't run from the police.
Here's another sentence that I'm not agreeing with. So, Palm Beach man sentenced to more than 11 years in federal prison for receipt of child sexual abuse material. Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Middle District of Florida. There's a lot of cases coming out of Florida today or this week. Orlando, Florida, U.S. District Judge Wendy W. Berger has sentenced Eric Jordanal, 49, Palm Bay, to 11 years and 4 months in federal prison for receipt of child sexual abuse material. Jordal previously pled guilty on August 21st, 2024. According to court documents, Jordal downloaded multiple videos depicting the violent sexual abuse of children. Some of the videos included sadistic and misogynistic conduct and bestiality. Thereafter, the FBI executed a search warrant on Jordal's home and discovered hundreds of CSAM images on his devices. During an interview with FBI agents, Jordal admitted to viewing CSAM for a while, perhaps since his late 20s. He's 49.
Wow.
A while? 20 years?
That means I wonder how many victims he had.
Personally,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Crazy, dude. And of course, that's all the details they give on that case. That's what pisses me off so much about this. But let's take this into account. So he said he admits to watching this kind of stuff for a while, since his late 20s. He's 49. So late 20s, let's say he was 29 when he started watching it. That's exactly 20 years that he's been exploiting and carrying on the abuse and torture of children.
Wow.
Reoffending children every single day, I guarantee it. And he gets 11 years and 4 months.
And he probably won't even do that all that 11 years.
It's federal, so he will.
Oh, federal?
Yeah. He'll do no less than 80% of it. No less than 80%.
Still, that's fucking ridiculous.
And it's very rare that the federal court systems will let you parole out early. So, do you agree with that sentence or do you disagree with that sentence? What do you think? What do you think, TPR?
I think what people don't get a lot of the time is that, well, I just watched it, right? So what's the crime in it? But it's like everything else in social media. As soon as you give the person that created the content the attention of watching it or liking it or whatever, you're encouraging them to do it more. So you are, in fact, supporting them just by watching it, just by looking at it. So you're just as guilty as the person that committed the crime.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
So it's fair to say that you don't agree with the 11 years.
I do not. It should be, well, I mean, it's a life sentence for the victim. So why wouldn't it be a life sentence for the person that committed the crime?
The punishment should should fit the crime, and the crime is a lifetime sentence of shit for the victim.
Yeah.
So the perpetrator of said crime should have to spend the lifetime of shit for the rest of their life. 100% agree, TPR.
Somebody that I know personally for longer than maybe a lot of people in chat have been alive. She was raped when she was 13. She's now 50, and she's still dealing with it. It doesn't go away. It's not like, oh, it just happened or it was just unwanted sex. It's not like that. It cripples her life forever.
For life. Like take my case for example.
Especially if they go not telling anybody.
Yeah.
And have to hold on to that.
Holding on to that and not, dude, it's horrible, dude.
Absolutely.
So I was a victim from the age of 5 to 12. I'm still dealing with this shit, and I'm 45 years old now.
Yeah.
Over 30 years ago, this shit happened to me, and I'm still struggling with it.
It happens more than people understand.
Yes, absolutely.
I've dated a lot of women, but a lot of the women that I've dated have had these experiences of unwanted contact, and not like, oh, he hugged me and I didn't like it. I don't mean like that kind of rainbow stuff. I mean violent physical action. It happens a lot more than people realize. And the women end up alone. They can't carry on a marriage. They can't have a long-lasting relationship because the scars are there forever. Like there's no way to fix it. It's done.
Yeah. Like I can say this for myself, and my wife will probably agree with this. My wife and I, as most people know, are both survivors of sexual abuse as kids, as children. I think the only reason why, not the only reason, but a big reason why our relationship works is because we were both victimized. So we have that, we can relate to each other in that aspect. Like I've been in relationships before where I was with somebody who wasn't a victim, and all kinds of issues I had. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I just think it's just the whole entire system needs redone when it comes to these crimes. That's all I can say about it. It's fucking ridiculous. Jack Black Powder says,
just, well, we don't want them to, but no offense, but we like our open space and empty places. But here in southern Alberta, we have kill piles on our farms. Nobody would notice a decomposing body because there's a lot of cattle that are just put in a big pile and we let them rot.
Oh yeah,
just saying.
Throw them right there. Yeah. I'm down. I'm down. Mm-hmm. Jack Black Powder says, TPR, I enjoy your sense of humor, and it doesn't matter about politics. You're a good man.
Aww.
Yeah, I saw that, and thank you kindly, Jack.
Casey, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I don't think I've seen you here before, but they say, amen, number one, always save our children. Yeah. For sure. Okay, so let's learn about a man named... where does this damn name go? Let's just call him piece of shit for right now, okay? It's because that's all I can come up with. Shit. Texas man arrested for possessing child pornography while working as a school bus driver in Fairbanks. Oh, wow. Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. For immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Alaska. The FBI is seeking additional information. Fairbanks, Alaska. A Texas man was arrested early this week on criminal charges related to his alleged possession of child pornography while temporarily working in Fairbanks. According to court documents, in December 2024, the Fairbanks Police Department received information that a USB drive found in the business center of a Fairbanks hotel allegedly contained child sexual abuse material. Fairbanks Police Department provided the USB drive to the FBI Anchorage Field Office to process for forensic review. On January 30th, 2025, federal agents successfully imaged and extracted the USB drive and found information linking it to Scott O'Toole, 60, of Joshua, Texas. Agents also found images on the drive allegedly depicting child sexual abuse. Within 24 hours of the FBI's review of the USB drive, law enforcement identified and located O'Toole in Texas and arrested him shortly thereafter. Court documents further allege that federal agents learned O'Toole was on temporary duty assignment in Fairbanks as a school bus driver between November and December 2024, and that he stayed at the hotel where the USB drive was found. Shortly after the USB drive was discovered, O'Toole returned to Texas. O'Toole is currently charged with 1 count of possession of child pornography in the District of Alaska. If convicted, O'Toole faces up to 20 years in prison. A federal district court judge will determine any sentencing after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines for other statutory factors. If the FBI Anchorage Field Office is investigating the case with assistance from the Fairbanks Police Department and the Texas State Troopers. If anyone has information concerning O'Toole's alleged actions in Alaska, please contact the FBI Anchorage Field Office at 907-276-4441 or anonymously at tips.fbi.gov. So I asked the chat and my panel guest here, what do you think should happen to this parasite? Should we just slap him on the hand and let him go?
Well, no, but there's certain places where that's kind of the directive that they've been given is like, we have too many people. So they do catch and release, and they do it with murderers. They say, okay, you can have a $5,000 bond, personal surety, like 5,001. Yep. So what you're getting is you're going to pay, it's 5,010, but they call it 5,001 for some reason. So you pay a $500 bond, you get out, you keep doing what you're doing because you know that there's no penalty for it.
Right. Welcome here. So, welcome Midnight Valkyrie. I'm in Idaho. I'm in Idaho, Beth.
The only thing like I read in chat is like, well, ask the kids outright. A lot of them are so scared. Or they simply can't admit it to themselves. They can't admit what happened, because if they do that, you're going to break down a wall that says nothing is safe. Yeah. And then you can't trust another human being, no matter who they are. No matter if it's a person that sits with you, 16 hours a day, you can't trust anyone because you trusted that bus driver, because the bus driver is supposed to be safe. Yep. Or that parent or that uncle or that aunt. You can't trust anyone anymore. So they're not going to answer the questions. That's why you have to look for the signs.
Yep.
And it sucks because you want your kids to be honest with you, but they're too terrified. Because what if I tell them dad, and then dad beats the shit out of me because, I told on his brother.
Yep.
Yeah. There's that fear driven.
Yep. And it never goes away.
Yeah.
It never goes away. It's something that can be, the impact can be lightened on a person, but it'll never fully go away. I have trust issues with everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's what I see most of the time, and for no good reason, retaliatory behavior. Like, I really love you back, And therefore, I need to destroy this because every good thing in my life was taken away by this incident in my past. So people become self-destructive. They become alcoholics. They become drug addicts. They become the thing that they don't want in the world because
Yeah.
it's all that they know. They continually go in and out of abusive relationships.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes a therapist to get through. Even if they do get through, you still have those issues. They don't go
Yep.
away.
Yep. You know, and I said that here many times myself. It's
Like, a lot of times drug addicts, that's because
yeah.
drug addicts because they've experienced that.
Yeah, a lot of drug addicts. Like I can tell you right now, I've been a drug addict my entire life. I've been in recovery now for going on almost 14 years, and like I still consider myself an addict, and I always will be. And I know for a fact that the majority of it comes from being abused, man. It's a way to escape. It's the way for me to escape from the fucking pain of the shit that I went through, man. But I found you guys now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I found a way to like Jack Black Powder says right here. He says, "GTK, you have channeled your energy of pain into a fucking sword. You do a powerful thing here on your channel. If we're not getting drunk and having fun." You know, and like I'll say that like my main goal on here is what I do on here most of the time, but I do gotta have fun on here. It takes away from it gives me a break from the shit, man, because I'm looking up stuff all the time, every single day. I'm in this mindset, and I just got to escape it every once in a while. So that's why I do this shit, man.
Unfortunately for you, I like serious topics and hard science and things like that, and it doesn't always relate directly to let's have fun and get drunk on a panel.
Yeah, I get it. I do like having fun and with everybody, but I enjoy a very intelligent and serious conversation.
Yeah.
I really do. Like it's the best way to become a better person, I think. Not everything needs to be fun and games, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Somebody said I came pretty hard at Megan the other night, and I was like, I totally did not mean to be mean to her. I was having a battle of wits with her.
I don't think you did, and I'll bet you she'll say the same thing. I bet you she'd say the same thing. I bet you she'll say, I don't think you came too hard. I mean, that's Megan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was an outsider's perspective, and I was like, wow, if that's how you see that, that's unfortunate. I wasn't intending to be mean to her at all.
Yep. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Mission. He says, but the kids need to know it's okay to talk about. If they felt comfortable to come forward and not scared of repercussions. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, the trick is getting the kids to understand that it's okay to talk to the police.
Yes. Yep. What the fuck is going on with this, dude? You're the second person today now, midnight, that have said their fucking comments are being hidden.
Yeah, mine didn't appear. I was like, what? And it didn't say error, couldn't process the message. When I switched it from top chat to live chat, it just wasn't there. And I'm like, well, that's interesting.
Well, here, I got an idea, Midnight. Why don't you go ahead and grab this link, just like I did with TPR here, and you can come up and tell us your comments yourself. And that way they can't be hidden. Just know I'm not doing it. Just so you know, I'm not doing it. I think anything that anybody wants to say on here should be allowed to be said on here. And you know what I mean? So it's literally not me. So you can grab the link if you want and come up and you can give us your comments in person, but you don't have to. I'm just giving you the platform to do it.
Mission, I can see that being possible. Mine, I just said, Go check out Donut Operator's latest video if you want to have a good laugh. How that
Yeah.
would get blocked? Like I said, Donut Operator. It's a very well-known channel. Like I said, no bad words in it. It didn't make any sense that would be blocked. But I know YouTube does go after Donut Operator.
Yeah. Do they?
Oh yeah, they block a lot of his content. They age restrict it and that because people get shot. It's all blurred out, but
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, I'm gonna start really paying attention to my Rumble account too. So, I just got to figure out how to get it back because I can't get into it at this moment in time. But
well, this isn't the stream for it. What I will say is, it's unfortunate that YouTube is so extremely left wing that you can't say anything. There are certain things you shouldn't say. I'll agree with that, but
yeah,
they're
me too.
way too far. They're way too far left.
I agree, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, I've seen some channels that they host lives. I can see in my sidebar that the channel's live, but I don't get a thumbnail. I'm like, well, that's interesting. You're obviously blacklisting somebody. Just depends what they talk about, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's stupid as fuck. I think it's stupid as hell, man. I really do. I mean, we should be allowed to say, for the most part, the things we want to say. You know what I mean?
If you're going to give instructions on how to build a BOMB, yeah, I
Right.
can understand why they wouldn't want to promote that. I get that makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
But
Yep. But well, I hope it is just YouTube. I mean, I wish they wouldn't do that shit, but yeah.
yes, I do, Jack Black Powder Prepper. And Mission, I've actually had a couple of instances where I had to work with the FBI. They're actually good people.
I got a lot of love and respect for the FBI. The things that they see, the things that they got to deal with, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, some
I
of our
couldn't do it.
cases were international because, you know, one of the two people had left the country. So then I have to work with them. The second that anything turned criminal, I handed it all over. And it's like, there you go. Because
There you
that's
go.
not my job. My job is civil. Because they have their own internet crimes division that works on things. But yeah,
Alrighty.
I work with them, and they're good people. Like,
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for most. I have a lot of respect for most detectives and shit. But when it comes to my police department, I'm not gonna give them that again tonight or today. But like, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that all cops are fucked up, but the ones around here, they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like they would rather I've literally called them and told them, hey, look, I know where this guy is. He's committing a federal felony offense. Can you go arrest him? We got more important things to do, like go arrest somebody for fucking smoking pot. That's more important than getting somebody who's not complying with with the sex offender registry. It's a federal felony. You guys would rather go chase down somebody for a fucking bag of weed. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I got laughed at. I legitimately got laughed at by two different police officers and the police chief in Blackfoot,
I
Idaho.
remember that. I remember when
He fucking laughed at me.
I remember that.
The person who victimized me and the person who victimized my wife were both non-compliant registered sex offenders. I knew where both of them were at. I called them and gave them their fucking address, and they laughed at me.
Yeah.
They fucking laughed at me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You tell me where I'm supposed to have faith in that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's unfortunately it's a local department or detachment, and it's a small town. So,
Yeah, it is bullshit.
and no, you're safe, Jack. By the way.
All right, one more case today, and I got to get out of here and get to work.
Mm.
Missouri man guilty of traveling to Louisiana for illicit sexual conduct with a 12-year-old girl. Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, for immediate release. U.S. Attorney's Office, Eastern District of Louisiana. New Orleans, U.S. Attorney Dwayne A. Evans announced that Eric Charles Fuller, age 54, from Springfield, Missouri, pled guilty on February 4th, 2025, before United States District Judge Greg Gerard Gertie to interstate travel with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 2423, subsection B. According to court documents, on or about December 7th, 2023, law enforcement personnel operating undercover online and pretending to be a 12-year-old girl, pretending to be a 29-year-old mother with a 12-year-old daughter, met Fuller on a social media network. And that it pisses me off when they don't say the name of these networks, these social media applications that they use. I think they should be put on blast. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. Over approximately the next. Go ahead. What's that?
I said I could tell you one of them.
Snapchat.
It's Kik. K-I-K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they don't require age or identity verification. So.
Yep. Kik is horrible for it. Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
You're fine. You just made me lose my place. God damn it. Over approximately the next month, on numerous occasions, Fuller discussed his interest in engaging in various sexual acts with the mother and daughter. These discussions accumulated in Fuller making arrangements to travel from his residence in Springfield, Missouri, to the New Orleans, Louisiana area to engage in sexual contact, individually and collectively, with the mother and daughter. During his conversations, Fuller described the contact he anticipated as highly taboo, highly illegal, absolutely risky, not the worst way to be, and a way to have a happier life. Fuller drove from Springfield, Missouri on about January 11th, 2024, and arrived at the predetermined location in Mandeville, Louisiana on January 12th, 2024. In order to engage in sexual conduct with the individual Fuller believed to be a 12-year-old female. Fuller faces a maximum term of imprisonment of 30 years. Fuller also faces at least 5 years and up to a lifetime of supervised release, up to $250,000 fine, and a $100 mandatory special assessment fee. Fuller may also be required to register as a sex offender. What? That doesn't make sense. Fuller faces a maximum term of imprisonment of 30 years. Fuller also faces at least 5 years and up to a lifetime of supervised release, up to a $250,000 fine and a $100 mandatory assessment fee. Fuller may also be required to register as a sex offender. So wait a minute. So I'm just learning something now myself. So from what I understand, this is saying, like, I thought supervised release was being registered as a sex offender.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
Because this proves it right here, because it says also faces at least 5 years up to a lifetime of supervised release, And then it later goes on a whole completely different sentence that says Fuller may also be required to register as a sex offender. May also be required to register as a sex offender. So at this point in time, they're not even sure they're going to make him register as a sex offender. What the fuck is that shit? Looks like I got a new thing to bitch about.
Well,
I'm
okay,
serious.
like from the legal perspective, did he actually commit the act?
Oh, yeah. Well, there you
Or
go.
did he
Huh?
have the intent? Or can you prove the intent? Maybe he was going to counsel the child. That's how a lawyer would defend the person.
I can see that. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean I agree with it. It means I
Right,
understand it.
right. And my opinion is these when it comes to these crimes, I think 100% you should be like intent should be 100% like you should be able to be convicted on your intent.
Yeah.
And act because if it didn't turn out to be a decoy and it didn't turn out to be an undercover agent, you would have went and did that shit.
Yep, exactly.
Your intent was to go there. You drove from Missouri to Louisiana. How far is it from Missouri to Louisiana? You know what I mean? That's a pretty hell of a long drive, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I honestly believe that these crimes, your intent should be just as bad as committing the crime. I'm glad there's people out there that are these decoys and they are stopping from these people from making more victims, but they should be held just like they did create a victim, because if it wasn't an undercover agent, they would have created another victim.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of like aviation accidents. Unfortunately, you have to wait until something terrible happens for things to change. And it's like, it kind of seems ass backward to me.
Yeah.
You know, if we know there's a problem, do we need evidence of it before we fix it? Like, how many people have to suffer to get something changed?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself, TPR. Could not have said it better myself, my friend.
Yep.
And with that being said, I'm getting my ass out of here today. I'll be back later.
Good to see you, TPR.
TPR, if you want to hang out for 1 second, I'd like to talk to you for a minute after in private.
Sure.
If you would.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get my little spiel here on my going away little speech here. This is G2K. I ask you 2 favors today, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, try to love one another right now, because we might not get a chance to do so tomorrow. In fact, there are people here today that won't get that opportunity to do so tomorrow, so we might as well take advantage of it while we can. Number 2, tell your friends about me, because you're going to want to know. Get to know. Martine, laters. All you fucking haters. See you fucking laters. Later, ladies and gentlemen.
See ya.